So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. Also, YouTube here from War Games, bringing you a breakdown of the best side deck options for your decks in this upcoming meta. Now, I did mention this in our previous video about the top 5 meta decks, and now I am bringing you a quick rundown of the best side deck cards, both budget and a little bit more expensive, that you can try and pick up to put into your side decks to help combat the meta. So, in no particular order, I'm just going to go through a range of cards that you can use in your side decks that can cause your opponent a hell of a lot of issues and actually get you out of some sticky situations to possibly win you the game. Now, of course, we're going to start off with, I'll try to keep it in monsters, spells and traps kind of element as well. So we'll start off with the monsters, of course, and we'll go with Prankatops. Now, Prankatops is a little bit more difficult in this situation against Mystic Mine. However, it is still an incredibly powerful card going second. If you've won the dice roll and you go first and then you win that ultimate game, and then you know your opponent is going to choose to go first, Prankatops is one of the first cards you put into your side deck. It is an easy free summon. It is a way to out pretty much any deck or any card in a deck. It can bait out any of the negates that your opponent might have built up. It can also take out any of their back row. Only thing it can struggle against is Mystic Mine if they do not play any monsters. Moving on to the other monsters, of course we have any form of tributing your opponent's monsters. So Kaijus are very, very good, but what I have noticed right now in this meta, apart from Sky Strikers and Burn, most decks are putting 2 to 3 monsters at least on board that can cause you a heck of a lot of issues. So cards like Ra Sphere Mode and maybe even Lava Golem, if you can play your deck without using your normal summon, are very, very important right now. That being said, you can also put into your deck, if you feel that you are going to be running boards that are going to create 3 or more monsters, something like Ra or Ra Sphere Mode, Ra or Immortal Ra, just to kind of get rid of that Sphere Mode and actually take full advantage of that card, which would be very, very interesting. I'm still waiting for the day for that to happen. For the past couple of weeks, once the meta kind of changed, I was personally playing Ra Sphere Mode in my Endymion deck, purely because I don't need to rely on my normal summon. And being able to break boards when my opponent, especially in the mirror match or even in a Thunder Dragon matchup, when they're bringing out boards that are having 3 negates on board or cards that then rely on having specific monsters, for example having Galatea on board to use the Orcus Crescendo, being able to Ra Sphere Mode 3 cards that are going to cause me issues and not worry about that board just makes life so much easier. That being said, because if Ra Sphere Mode becomes more of a consistent side deck card, a lot of people are going to start playing around that and then they're going to start going, putting 2 monsters on board, which is where Lava Golem comes back in, and of course any of the Kaijus will always be useful, especially in Dinos. Dinos can use and abuse quite a few Kaijus right now, the level 9 Thunder Kaiju and of course the Dogoran Kaiju as well. So anything that allows you to tribute your opponent's monsters and disrupt them is always going to be very, very good. Moving on, of course, we've got any type of hand traps. So if you're not maining these hand traps, but you still have access to them, stuff like Ghost Ogre, Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Ghost Spell, maybe even Spooky Dogwood if you want to, which can be quite funny depending on what the meta changes. It's less so against Sky Strikers and Mine again. They get hit with more of the spells and traps further along down the list. But stuff like that can be very, very useful. Ogre is incredibly powerful this format. And so is Effect Veiler, purely because Effect Veiler targets, so it can get past being chain blocked. And of course, Ghost Ogre gives you that destruction, which, like I showed you in the combo of the Orcus, is very, very important to hit the Mermaid. So something like Ash or Ogre can really, really hurt that combo, which is a combo that I said is very, very generic and you'll see quite a lot of. Moving on the monsters, of course, we have Denko Sekka. Now, Denko Sekka is always around in the format. And this is more, you know, Mystic Burn. You hit that down and then you draw into the cards that can out the Mystic Mine, you're going to win the game. Also against Sky Strikers, it can cause a lot of issues, purely because it shuts out their entire back row. So if you have the ability to kind of stop your opponent, stall out your opponent's back row, then give them a Kaiju, you can then cause them a heck of a lot of issues because you lock out their back row completely. Again, the biggest issue with something like Denko Sekka is it doesn't require your normal summon. So you want to be able to slow your opponent down without using and abusing your normal summon. Moving on to the spells. Now the spells are very, very important. Any back row removal, Twin Twisters, Cyclone, MST, anything like that is very, very important right now, especially when you couple it off with Denko. You know summon Denko, you've not got to worry about anything being chained. You start using Twin Twisters, Galaxy Cyclones, Cosmic Cyclones, MSTs, you get rid of the Mystic Miners #1, and then you start getting rid of all the other little cards around them. That can cause your opponent a heck of a lot of issues. It of course is very, very good against Pendulum matchups as well, because you just take out their scales before they have a chance to really build up. Again, if it's not in the main deck, Called by the Grave is always going to be a great card to play as well. Something like DD Crow as well, going back to the monster hand traps, is going to be another good one as well. But you want to be taking out your opponent's Ray, even their Kagari. As soon as their Kagari is banished, they have a lot of trouble trying to get it back. Speedily moving on into stuff like traps, you've got, of course, your red reboot. If your opponent wants to crescendo you, you can red reboot them and hopefully OTK and finish the game off from there. You've also got your evenly matched, which can cause your opponent a heck of a lot of issues, especially in the Orcus matchup. If they're going to be setting crescendo during your turn and not theirs, they then have a little bit more trouble to actually activating crescendo once it's been set that turn. So you completely clear their board out. So evenly matched is another very, very good one, alongside, of course, infinite impermanence. Now, that's pretty much my side deck list. Any kind of cards that symbolize or do the exact same job as those type of cards on either a budget, or if you have the money and you have them to hand, then use the more expensive ones, because there are a reason that they're expensive. As long as they do the job right, stuff like Artifact Lancer can be very, very good. Imperial Iron Wall as another alternative to be a little bit cheaper on that one. Anti-Spell Fragrance if pendulums become more of an issue. Just little cards like that are always going to be very, very good to put into your side deck. It's an incredibly powerful meta out there right now, very, very diverse. So you want to find as many cards that can hit multiple decks as possible, so you don't minimize your side deck's ability. You want to be able to, like, Twin Twisters will hit a lot of decks right now. It'll hit Salamangreats, it'll hit Mystic Mine, it'll hit Sky Strikers, it'll hit Pendulum Magicians as well. So dealing with that is very, very good to have a card like that in your extra deck, because it's going to hit a variety. And that's one thing I would say is, when you're building your side deck, make sure it is hitting as many decks as possible. Or if you know that you're going to be going to a tournament and you're going to have 60 players there, 59 of them are going to be playing, or 50 of them are going to be playing Sky Strikers, the chances are you're going to play Sky Strikers, so you want to make your side deck more relevant to that. Like I said, because the meta is so diverse right now, it's a little bit harder to do something like that. So you want to make sure stuff like Pranktops, MSTs, Twin Twisters, Denkos, Kaijus, anything like that is in your side deck, nice, generic, and ready to go no matter what you face. Anyway, very, very short, simple, and to the point video. Let me know of any side decks that I might, or side deck cards that I might have missed out. There's so many out there right now that are very, very good to put into your extra deck and can really, really help you out in a sticky situation. Obviously, one thing you do need to know is from your deck, if you know it well enough, what to take out, what to put in. It just makes life so much easier and it saves a lot of time, especially with the new time rules. You do not want to get hit with those. Anyway, that is it for the video. Please give us a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Give it a share as well so everyone can see these helpful tips to help them out in the upcoming Nationals and, of course, European season. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. What's up, YouTube? Dan here from YUGIOH. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always, guys, happy dueling.